Hello there. Hi, my name is Tanya, and I hope that you guys are doing well. I just wanted to talk about the books I want to read in January of 2023. Oh my gosh. Man, 2022 was rough. So I just finished up the books that I read last year in 2022, and I realized it's a little out of focus. I'm still working on the cameras by myself. Just be patient with me as I'm trying to figure all of this out. Thank you so much for clicking on this and being excited to start the new year. I am brand new to all of this. What's the word? Content creation. So I really appreciate you guys just clicking on this. So I just want to give a shout out to Lauren. This is who made this shirt. She's a small business owner at Brixton Bookish. All the details are going to be down below and also up here somewhere. I just want to give a shout out to her. She makes some great quality pieces, have a good bit of her merch, and she is going to be launching her website pretty soon, so be on the lookout for her. Follow on Instagram. Thank you so much for just being an awesome person and a great buddy read as well. Thank you for also Akatar, by the way. But hello there, General Kenobi. Just so good. So to be read. So that is what I am talking about here today for January. I don't think it's too ambitious. I already finished this book on the first day. The Diviners. I just started the series. A lot of my book inspirations and a lot of things that I get to read, or a lot of the book recommendations that I get, is from Olivia Reads a Latte. I really love her channel. It is so funny. She's so good. So again, I just finished it. It was my first read of the year. And it's about Evie O'Neill and different lives that come across together that intertwine for some reason. And Evie comes from Ohio to New York City to live with her uncle, who's a bachelor. And he has an assistant named Jericho, and they both help run this museum of oddities, pretty much. And they all have to do with some sort of supernatural artifact. So a lot of people call it like the Creepy Crawlies or something, the Museum of Creepy Crazies or Creepy Crawlies. I don't know. And it's set in the Prohibition era. So this first one was a banger. I am excited to read the next one, Lair of Dreams. So you could see I'm reading it. And it's actually really good so far. I'm only like, 40 pages in? I did say I started it. And the next one is Before the Devil Breaks in You, so that's the third one. So I'm going to be picking that up pretty soon after I finish this one. But The Lair of Dreams, I really like it's an easier read. It gets to the point. The dialogue is fun. It's witty. It's fun. Evie kind of reminds me of what I would be in the Prohibition era. Just like the Spitfire that I already am. I promise you I'm not as nervous as I am on here. The next one is going to be Lesson in Vengeance. It's been recommended by a lot of booktubers, so I thought I would give this a go. I have no clue what it's about, honestly. If it's a booktuber recommends it, I'm pretty sure that I wrote it down. I like the plot of it, and that's why I went for it. It says witchcraft is woven into Dalloway's past. Sold, right? So that's another one. Now, another series I really want to get into is Name of the Wind. The Super Carlin Bros, actually another theory channel that I really like to watch, specifically for Disney, but they also talk about Harry Potter and all sorts of things. And because this has to do with sorcery, they called it like an adult Harry Potter, The Knot. And I got intrigued. So I don't know why this wasn't like in my radar a long time ago, but I am excited to read it. It's just a big chunk, and it's really pretty. I really like the floppy. I love the floppy books here. Next one is going to be I'm pretty sure this is a FairyLoot edition that I have. I just want to make sure. Yeah, this is a FairyLoot edition called One Dark Window by Rachel Gillig. So it is so pretty. Look at the sprayed edges. It is so nice. I really, really enjoy it. So I joined the FairyLoot book only subscription, and I'm going to come out with a video about the subscription boxes that I have, not just for books, but for every fandom that I have. And and it's a pretty good chunk of subscription boxes that I have. But yeah, FairyLoot, it's really cool. They give you this one box, they give you a bookmark, and they give you like a little overview with like a postcard of the book that you're gonna read. So I'm trying to do one FairyLoot book that I have, and because I have a good chunk that I haven't read just yet. So the next one that I'm gonna read is, maybe I should have broken this down into like categories. Eventually that's gonna happen. But it's called Devil in the White City by Erik Larson. So I've heard that he writes pretty accurate tellings of what's going on, but he does it in a way where it's more of a storytelling than it is of a biography. And this one is about E.E. Holmes. Yep, it's about E.E. Holmes. And the only reason why I started to get on this kick is not only because look how beautiful this cover is. Wow. And it's also glossy, but because it talks about the Chicago World Fair. And I was reading Jack the Ripper series, the Stalking Jack the Ripper series by Carrie Mossy. I cannot pronounce her last name, but look it up. Stalking Jack the Ripper, incredible read. But it basically tied the Jack the Ripper series and E.E. Holmes together, and I didn't even realize that was a theory. I didn't even realize that was even something, like I did not know that they two could be connected, and I'm so excited, and I'm excited to read about that part here when he goes to London. I do read a lot of I listen to a lot of podcasts dealing with history, so lore is definitely one of them. So I traveled for work. At one point I was living in Chicago for 3 months, and I got to walk onto Lake Michigan, like that lakeside trail that they have that goes all the way to the Navy Pier. It was 2.5 miles from there, and it was an easy walk. Everybody walks there, but I'm listening to the creepy stuff, lore, and I remember listening about E.E. Holmes, and I'm over here like, what is going on? Like, who can ever think like that? And H.H. Holmes, sorry, not E. Holmes. I know that everybody's like, no, it's H.H. Holmes. And I was finishing up Capturing the Devil, or Stalking Jack the Ripper series. It made me want to learn more about H.H. Holmes, even though it's like kind of sickening. But you gotta admit, it was pretty genius that back in the day, you could have been a serial killer and never been caught. So it was interesting to see the way that got tied in, and I'm excited to read about it. The next book, I'm trying to read a lot more biographies. I know that Alan Rickman came out with one, so that's definitely going to be in a haul, and also Tom Felton, so I'm excited to do that. I want to read more Meryl Streep and Tom Hanks, so whenever they come out with that, but I want to read Will. I started this last year, like early last year, but then I kind of got off of it, so I'm kind of rereading it. I didn't get too far in, so Will Smith by Will Smith, and it was actually really interesting in the beginning. I didn't realize a lot that he went through, and the infamous slap happened last year, so I'm excited to read about him. I want to read more graphic novels, so on this shelf on the very end, it has a lot more comic books, and then I also have a lot of art of books, so I have a lot of graphic design kind of books, and graphic novels are definitely going to be this chapter of 2023, and I'm ready. So The Witcher, I really love Henry Cavill. I just love him so much. And yeah, I picked this up earlier last year, never really got around to it. The artwork looks really cool and intense, and the game is kind of be coming out, and then another season with Liam Hemsworth is going to be coming out next year or at the end of this year. It's just going to be weird to see. I'm sorry, I have to rant a little bit. Like, the whole Henry Cavill debacle about him announcing he was going to Superman, and then they basically DC just kind of fired everybody, all the older actors, and we knew it was coming, but we also didn't know it was coming. And then he had said that he was leaving The Witcher solely based on the fact that he didn't really like the way that it was going, because he's truly committed to his characters. But I'm excited to read it, and it's going to be sad to see him go, but I'm interested in seeing how Liam Hemsworth gets to it. The next one is going to be The Ninth House. Dark academia is definitely my go-to when it comes to books. I think I started reading this a little bit, and then I kept putting it down, and I don't know why I kept putting it down. I think I just got distracted and my mood changed. I'm a mood reader, by the way. This one definitely is dark academia. It's about Yale, and it's about, like, an occult that, I think there's an occult. Maybe it's a secret society. Secret society, basically cult, same thing. Oh, I need some Harry Potter in me. And if it's not going to be Harry Potter, like, I reread these every year, so just eventually this is going to be back on my TBR, but the Casual Vacancy by J.K. Rowling. So I picked this up last year. I started reading it, but then I couldn't get into it for some reason, and I think I started getting into it right when I picked up, and then I kind of dropped off the face of the earth. But we all know how controversial J.K. Rowling is, but to be fair, she wrote Harry Potter, and she wrote the Harry Potter series, and I don't know, I just want to give it a try. I know that she has a couple other ones under a different pseudonym, so that'll be more. And then and then my last one is going to be a reread. It's going to be Legendborn. I don't have BloodMarked on me, which is the sequel, which I'm going to put up here. But this one, I loved this. Oh my gosh. I read this in 2019. Is that when it came out? I'm not exactly sure. It came out, and I read it because Olivia Reed's Latte said I needed to, so I did it. And yes, I talk about her a lot because she is probably my favorite booktuber. No, this came out in 2020, but so maybe I read this early last year. Can't remember everything. But yeah, so I read this in 2020 when it first came out. I'm excited for BloodMarked and this whole series. Basically, it's about this chick who goes to UNC Chapel Hill, and she ends up becoming a part of this secret society by total accident. And so these kids are just learning. It's kind of like a Percy Jackson meets King Arthur kind of trope, and I really, really enjoy that. And anything that has to do with Arthur, King Arthur, like Avalon High on Disney Channel, wow. So yeah, so I'm excited to reread this because I forgot pretty much a lot of the plot. That's how it works for me. And then I'm gonna read BloodMarked. So hopefully I get all of this done in this month. I'm pretty sure I will. But yeah, thank you so much for joining me. Do all the things if you want to. No pressure. And yeah, I hope that you guys like my future videos. And then what I'm gonna do a wrap up. I heard that wrap ups aren't a thing anymore, but I'm gonna do it because I want to talk about them. That's what this is about, right? And if you have any feedback, please make it constructive. Please make it nice. And thank you so much for joining again and watching me blabber on about the books I want to read and letting me be a part of this community. Thanks.